not only do I want to talk about just a little bit about the weekend box office and a couple of things, but specifically I want to talk about Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and its box office success. But before I get too far into talking about Black Panther, because that's going to be kind of the main topic of this topic in particular. So before I get too deep into talking about that, what I want to talk about is Black Adam. And this is, we'll get to it. And this is coming to us again from the people over at Cinema Blend. And yeah, I want to talk about Black Adam. So it still was able to bring in 8.6 over the weekend. And domestically now, it's at a total of 151 million. I believe it was close to 400 million worldwide. They don't have that listed here. You can see the theater count. It's no longer in 4,000 theaters. It's still in 3,600, which is a lot, but it's coming down because Wakanda Forever, right? And it's just going to continue to come down and down and down. So I want to talk about it specifically because this thing is not doing as well as I thought it would. I mean, I thought in the first month, this thing would have grossed $500 million worldwide and $300 million domestically easily. But I also thought this thing would hit $100 million opening weekend. It had everything going for it, and it had everything right for it. It's not the greatest movie ever. It does have so many badass moments that I overall enjoyed the movie, but I can see where a lot of people aren't enjoying it, and those badass moments don't add up enough for them to equal a good time at the movies. And I completely understand that. And look, art is completely subjective. So I wouldn't want to try to convince someone else to like what I like. If people aren't liking it, they're not liking it. Like I said, I can understand it because I can see that it's not that great of a movie. But I like the moments enough did add up for me. Those cool moments added up enough to overall be a good time at the movie theater for me. This is disappointing. This sucks a little bit as a kind of a fan of the movie. If super fan of the Henry Cavill Superman and want to see more of that, and this kind of goes hand in hand with that, and this is kind of the reset of the DCEU. So you want this to go good, right? We don't want to see Black Adam not do well. I mean, they spent $200-300 marketing. The theaters get a third. This movie's barely breaking even still. I mean, and it won't be long before this movie's out of theaters. So right around wherever it is, we can kind of chalk up that that's where it's going to be, whatever it is worldwide. And like I said, I believe it was around 400 million last time I looked. And maybe it hits that 5 or crosses that $500 million mark. And if it does, I think that's awesome. But I still think it's not quite the win that Warner Brothers or even or big fans of the DCU kind of expected, or even The Rock, right? I feel like The Rock had to kind of be thinking this was going to be a big deal, and it felt like a big deal, and maybe it was just too little too late, because again, they announced Dwayne The Rock Johnson playing Black Adam in, what was it, 2012, so it's literally a decade later that we finally get it. And so I don't know, I'm really not sure exactly what all the reasons, because I understand them not making money as time goes on, because word of mouth would say, hey, it's not that great of a movie, just wait till it's on streaming. But still, opening weekend, this movie Black Adam only made 50, 45, 65, I think it was $65 million, which was like Dwayne's biggest opening weekend ever. So hard to understand why I ever expected, or anyone ever expected, for it to be much more than that. But I did, so I don't know why. So this is, like I said, a little bit of a disappointment, and I'd like to see Black Adam in a better position. We're going to flip back over to the article here, where another movie I want to talk about before we get into Wakanda Forever is this Ticket to Paradise movie, which kind of came out of nowhere, right? This thing almost beat Black Adam over the weekend. It grossed 6,100. That's crazy, man. That's a lot. It's still in 30. It's in more theaters than Black Adam. That's crazy. That's wild. Yeah, I see they have a mixed cocktail for this at AMC. That I see constantly that looks delicious. It looks like an island kind of mixed drink, and I keep avoiding it because I have to get these MCU or Black Adam or whatever drinks. But yeah, maybe I have to try that Ticket to Paradise drink before it gets out of there. But that's cool, man. I'm glad to see this happening. That movie can't be budgeted much. This has got to be made for a few $1,000,000 at most. And it's grossed $56 million in the box office. Domestically, I don't know what it is worldwide. I couldn't imagine it being too much higher. But this is a win, and this is awesome and great for the theaters. The theaters need more kind of little wins like this, right? Because we talked about how they're suffering because things like Black Adam aren't doing as well as they should. But these little things like Ticket to Paradise can come in and kind of band-aid some of those wounds up, right? And some of that leaky wounds that they have, and that's awesome, man. I love when films can do that. We see Blumhouse do it all the time. There's A24 does it constantly, where they'll take a movie, that's made for $4 million. Everything Everywhere All at Once, the best movie of the year. If you guys haven't seen it, check it out. It was made for $15-20 million, and it's the A24's biggest movie of all time. It made like $100-some million. So yeah, we want to see more little wins like this for the theaters. As movie fans, we want to see the theaters continue to thrive and be successful, so that when Wakanda Forevers and Supermans and Kongs versus Godzillas and all these other things do come, we can see them on these big screens with these beautiful sound systems, with movie theater popcorn and a reclining seat, So, yeah, I'm loving this. It makes me happy to see. Good for you, Ticket to Paradise. But yeah, with that being said, I want to move into, of course, the big winner of the weekend. I projected it at 155. They said 170 to 175. It actually beat that. And domestically, Black Panther 2 Wakanda Forever brought in $180 million into the box office. That is awesome, and that is a big win for the theaters specifically. It is somewhat of a big win for Marvel, considering that it's, again, kind of been a down year. Movies haven't been making as much as it was just a couple of years ago, right? That everything Marvel put out was $1 billion. $1 billion. Captain Marvel, $1 billion. This, $1 billion. I mean, it was even sub movies, like, who expected Captain Marvel to make $1 billion, or even the original Black Panther made like $1.5 billion. Who expected that? No one expected that. So yeah, this is kind of a big win for Marvel right now too, but a bigger win for the theaters, I think. And again, we're happy to see this because the bigger of a win Wakanda Forever is, the less we will have to rely on Avatar 2 being successful. So yeah, big win for Wakanda Forever. This still has a $250 million budget with a probably $200 million marketing budget, and the third of everything goes to the theaters. So, overall, at the end of it, this movie has a long way to go. I mean, even if it's saying in the article, you see here that it's 330 million worldwide opening weekend, but even with that, this movie still has a few weekends to go before it's profitable. So, but it will be. I mean, this movie, I feel confident in saying this movie is going to make $1 billion, but with the year we're having, and freaking Top Gun being the biggest movie of the year, who really knows what's going to happen? So Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness was at 187 million. So, these are comparable numbers. These are close. So I'm happy to see Black Panther have all the success. I do want to talk a little bit about the divisiveness of Black Panther 2 with Chadwick Boseman and all that, but I'd rather do it while I have someone here that can give me their opinion, and that we could talk amongst ourselves with it. But I will quickly just say that my quick thought on it is that you can't keep life out of art. Life is art. So it is sad, but if you think this movie shouldn't have been made, then the Titanic shouldn't have been made, right? And so many other movies that are based on real tragedies just should not have been made. And I disagree with that immensely and wholeheartedly. Sometimes, I say it all the time, movies are meant to make us feel, and sometimes they make us feel like crap, man. If you're not interested in that, don't go see the movie, is what I would say. Just don't go see the movie if you don't want to experience what you can see the movie is going to deliver. But the movie delivers and makes you feel that way, and then you're mad at what? The movie? That's crazy to me. That's crazy talk. But yeah, I'll talk more about it with Shane or Lucas, or when I got someone else here that can give me their opinion on it. But yeah, guys, let me know down in the comment section below what you guys are thinking about the weekend box office. Are you glad to see Black Panther 2 Wakanda Forever have that success at the box office that we all knew it could? Have you seen it? Did you like it? Did you hate it? How do you feel? Maybe you feel this movie shouldn't have been made. Or maybe you feel like Disney's capitalizing on Chadwick Boseman's death. Definitely let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below.